It's 8:16 a.m. This is Andy Furman, Chair of the North Andover Youth and Recreation Council. Before we call the meeting to order, I'll read the governor's order regarding open meeting law. Live broadcast of this meeting can be heard on www.northandovercam.org pursuant to Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law GLC 30A section 18 in the governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitation on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the North Andover Youth and Recreation Council will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information and general guidelines for remote participation by members of the public and/or parties with a right and/or requirement to attend this meeting can be found on the town's website at www.northandover.gov. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to hear the meeting may do so viewing on North Andover CAM's website. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we are unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the town's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of proceedings as soon as possible. Now that we got that over and done with, we'll call the meeting to order. We have Jenna, Kevin, Holly, Dan, Jonathan, myself, Rick Gorman, Demi Moore from the Youth Center, or Demi Marsh, I'm sorry. Am I missing anybody that's on the meeting that I haven't called?
Aisha Valdez from the Youth Center is here as well.
Awesome, welcome Aisha. Denise Casey, are you on?
The Terry's
awesome.
On.
I don't think she's going to be on today. She's had a family emergency to take care of.
Gotcha. Hope all is well there. Good morning, Terry, and Happy New Year. Happy New Year to everybody. At this point, we'll hand it over to Rick. Rick, I think you wanted to introduce Aisha?
Yeah, don't call her Aisha. That's what I call her. Her name is Asia Valdez. Asia is our support services coordinator. She has the distinction of being the first town employee to start in a global pandemic. She started actually last March, and she has been with us, obviously now for close to over 10 months now, and is doing a wonderful job. Little history on. We all good there? Okay. A little history.
Yeah, I think Larry just joined the meeting. I think that's all.
Okay. Asia grew up, so to speak, at our youth center. We got to know her very well as a high school kid. Graduated North Andover High School and headed off to Salem State, where she graduated last year. And she's presently in a master's program at Salem State. So she's been a great addition for us. I'm going to have her talk a little bit about what she is doing, the program she's doing here at the Youth Center, the committee she's on. She is also the vice chair of the diversity committee for the town, which Larry Allen represents this community, this committee too. So with that said, I'll keep quiet and let Asia introduce herself and talk about some of the amazing things she's doing right now.
All right.
Awesome. Welcome, Asia.
Thank you. So it's nice to meet you all. So at the Youth Center, I've been doing girls groups with the middle school. I'm in the process of trying to get together some girls groups for the high school. Kind of when the guidance counselors reach me about things that are going on with some kids, we try to help them out. Like a girl that's struggling there, we kind of got her to volunteer for a program, so we can track that way. Also trying to see what we can do about getting together a boys group as well, whether that's myself running it or I'm just helping facilitate. At the youth center, I'm doing some tracking. I have my MVP program, which is going really well, where I have my high schoolers working really hard to keep track of middle schoolers that might be struggling in any way. So yeah, just trying to keep up with the um, social emotional things going on with some of these kids. And then the committees that I'm on, like Rick said, I'm on the diversity one. Um, I'm on a BRC meeting. And after this, I have to hop off a little bit early to get onto a CCI meeting. So that's a little bit about what I've been working on.
So just to follow up a little bit, obviously the support stuff, we're looking to even take this to a whole different level with the pandemic, and we're going in different areas. The MVP program is one of our sub programs we have here in Asia, has really taken that to a whole new level on that. We are extremely ecstatic. Asia was the most qualified person we interviewed and then obviously hired. We are ecstatic as our first Hispanic employee. She has done an amazing job with our growing a large Hispanic population in town. She has been a real godsend to the town hall in terms of translation, working with some of our neediest families. That language is an issue. So I'm extremely excited about other things that she's doing, even outside of our department within the school system with the town in terms of helping and working with our Hispanic population. So any questions for Asia? Anybody want to throw anything at her before she heads to a CCI meeting?
I just want to say, I think I literally shed a tear when you guys hired Asia. I think it's just such a great story. I knew her as a part-time employee from 8 years ago, and she's just awesome. And I think it's exactly what the youth center needed. And like I said, I literally shed a tear when you hired Asia. So welcome, Asia. You know how I feel about you, and I think it's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. Thanks and congratulations. I know it's a challenge for all of us working in the middle of a pandemic, but I think you started like literally like 3 days before this whole thing started. So congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, Asia, you can check off. We'll see you back. Good luck at the CCI meeting.
All right, nice to meet you all.
Yeah, so just it's been a great hire for us. Obviously, she's continuing to grow in the position. The fact that she's going back for her master's degree is huge for our position in that area. And as Demi can attest, obviously we've known Asia since she was a kid. Her story, which I'm not gonna relay on this Zoom, is an amazing story if you knew where she was, where she is now. And I think that has been our biggest thing, is how kids can relate to her, and how she can relate to kids, especially our kids that do not have the easiest of lives. So great pickup for us, and along with Kyle, Lauren, and Demi, I'm as pleased as I've ever been with the full-time staff we have right now.
Fantastic. So I think that's a good segue into all the great things the staff did for fall programming, Rick.
Yeah, so I'm going to do the director's report as basically just an overview of some of the biggest areas that I want to talk to you about. And first of all, we haven't really met since November. So we had a tremendous Thanksgiving drive and a tremendous Christmas holiday drive, the largest drives we have ever had. I do think that the pandemic played a major role in what the need was for the community. But once again, the entire community, whether it be parents, schools, organizations, companies, everybody truly stepped up for us to take care of the biggest Thanksgiving drive we've ever had. Thanks to Terry, because there was a shortage of turkeys. Terry was proactive in actually end of September, making sure that we could get turkeys for that. And then obviously it was different this year. We didn't do a delivery. It was a pickup day at the youth center, which I do believe we're probably going to go that way in the future. It's just a lot more efficient, and it went really well. And then obviously we started off with, our holiday drive, which we knew was going to be the biggest year we've ever had. close to 300 kids serviced. The amount of sponsors we had from the community, we actually had more sponsors than we technically needed. We once again had a socially distant pickup day. We had the music blaring outside the youth center. People came in. I brought in a lot of our high school leaders to actually help us with that. It was an emotional day for them to see what this is all about. If you were in the youth center on that Sunday before Christmas and you got to see the appreciation from people that are truly struggling, it was awesome. So again, I love when we used to always deliver the presents, but from a efficiency standpoint, this might be the way to go as more of a pickup, as well as us not surprising a family showing up and the kids are home and they want to know why people are bringing Christmas presents in their house. So there's lots of things that we're going to take a look. I can't thank Molly Malandrino and Asia Valdez enough. All of my staff was involved, but those two burned the midnight oil on both events. The last week before Christmas, I don't think they left before 10 o'clock at night, making it all happen. So once again, thanks to North Andover truly stepping up. I think we did a really good job social media wise, showing what it was about. And it was great. So we're pretty excited about that. In terms of the fall programming, building off of our great summer, we took off and did the fall. We actually became experts in running activities in a global pandemic and safe. But unlike the summer, we actually had to really deal hands-on with COVID. So we actually had 4 part-time staff people that were positive during the fall, and we had 18 close contacts. But none of them were affected our programs with the kids. So it was a matter of who's working today, who's on the COVID list, who's going to step up and cover somebody, blah, blah, blah. We never had to close one day. We ran in a complete safe program, ran over 55 programs during the fall. And most of these programs were multi-week programs. Some of them were the entire fall. So we were actually able to, the schools closed again. We continued to stay open and have a real success. We made it all the way up to December 22nd, which was our last day of doing any programs for the fall. And then we took technically the rest of that week off, Christmas week, and then we kicked back in. Again, the schools did not go back to school on January 4th, but we started our programs on January 4th. It has been a phenomenal. We're in our 4th week of the winter programs, and knock on wood, we have not had one staff COVID issue, which is outstanding, because this was the month I was most worried about. I'll be honest with you. I was not as worried in October as I was in January. So it tells you my staff is taking this truly serious. My parents are taking this truly serious. Our kids are taking it serious. We are truly a model for how to do this. I wish I could tell you how many communities are contacting us and saying, like, how are you doing it? We're just doing it. So we're in our 4th week of the winter. We have 8 more weeks. It's a 12-week winter session. And then we'll kick into the spring session, and then we'll obviously get ready for the summer. We are still following all the guidelines. So we are still involved with cohorts and masks and social distancing. I don't want to hear any complaints about anybody in terms of kids handling this stuff. They are phenomenal. Parents could learn from kids on how to deal with a global pandemic. We are continued to worry about social and emotional, and we're trying to do millions of things by keeping kids busy and keeping them involved. And I think we're doing a really good job with that. So we will continue, go day by day, keep you up to date on anything that's going on. But I would just say check on any of our social media platforms on any given day, and you will see that a global pandemic has not affected how we run the youth center in terms of actually running activities. On top of that, we are continuing to work on the youth center expansion. We are looking at, and I am going to keep this off this for public information, but we have been meeting with the architects. I'm working with Steve Foster, Peter Breen and the architects from the town on the expansion off the building. We are going to have a separate meeting with ourselves to discuss. There's another alternative that Melissa Rodriguez, D. Casey, myself, and Andrew Shapiro, Community Development Director, are actually looking at. I will set up, or I will send some information out to you guys on email to update you on all that stuff. The reason I don't want to lay it out today, at this point, it's too preliminary in terms of any public discussion on that. So we are moving forward. As I said to the Joseph Van Herman board, we are very lucky to have Polly Williams sitting on the Long Range Planning Implementation Committee. And that has been verified that the committee believes the expansion of the youth center is a #1 priority, or a top priority, along with a couple others, but it's not something that they're interested in pushing off. So everything is still on the front burner for the expansion of the youth center, which we definitely need to meet all of our needs on that. Budget-wise, so we've done our budget. I had my budget meeting with the town manager and the finance director, assistant town manager, yesterday. On Monday, I'll be presenting my budget to the Board of Selectmen, and then the following will be the Finance Committee. We are on a level funded budget. For people, that means we basically are not going to get any more money than we got last year. We have moved a little bit of the line items to meet our needs. But the good news is, despite everything, we're not talking layoffs. We're not talking any kind of financial cuts. It's more of like you're not getting anything on top of what we usually get. This looks like this could be a 2-year period where we're level funded. And then, quite frankly, in 2023, things are picking up a little bit. As you know, with everything in the world these days, everything's fluid on that. So,
Rick, one quick question. Are you still going to get your part-time admin staff? Weren't you going to get a part-time admin last year that was approved?
we have it. We just haven't found anybody we like yet.
Okay. Okay.
And Melissa committed yesterday that will continue. The problem that we have on that is we have identified a couple of people that we would have loved to have had take the position. It didn't work out because, quite frankly, the school department's hybrid method and virtual learning and stuff would be a great job part-time for a mom whose kids are in school that, she needs to be home at 1:30 in the afternoon or something like that. We then advertised it on Indeed, and I'll be honest with you, did not like any of the candidates we got. And remember, we're not paying a ton of money, so we're not getting, the best people. So Demi and I are going to continue to revisit that, and we'll be bringing that position on. And Melissa confirmed yesterday that will continue next year. So overall, I just want to, applaud Demi and the rest of the staff for what we're actually pulling off. We have now been recognized by the state Senate with Diana DeZoglio 2 weeks ago. We knew we were being honored by the House of Representatives, and Christina Minicucci and Tram were at the youth center to actually present it and take a picture with the kids. Monday night, we're being recognized in some way or form by the Board of Selectmen. So obviously we're obviously getting recognition for the great work we continue to do, and to be kind of a model that, we literally have been at the youth center since the beginning of June. We still operate 7 days a week, and we're getting this done. And brighter days are coming. We think the spring will be similar to the fall. We have some optimistic of what the summer will be like, but I'm telling people right now, we will still be wearing masks in the summer. We will still be following guidelines, although I think it'll be a little bit better than last year. I'm optimistic that September 2021 is where we're going to see the closest to what we knew before the pre-pandemic. But we're just really excited to keep moving forward on this, and we appreciate, obviously, this board's support, the Joseph Van Herman Youth Center's support, and obviously the leadership of the town to get this stuff done. Lastly, I'll just want to say we continue to do a lot of innovative things. We, along with Andover Youth Services, elevated spot in Lawrence and the Merrimack Valley Black and Brown Voices, put on a number of different events, mostly virtual, during Martin Luther King week. We actually celebrated 7 days, did a lot of things together between art projects and spoken word, and we actually did an incredible video with all of the groups. And again, obviously, we're looking at being cutting edge, dealing with a lot of the diversity on that. So good things happening, and we continue to plug along, and I'll take any questions if anybody has any questions. Hearing no questions, I'll turn it back to Andy. But look for an email from me within the next week, which will be talking a little bit more about the expansion to get you guys up to date of what our thinking is, what the town's thinking is.
Awesome. That's a lot for no questions. Very thorough, Rick, and congratulations to your staff once again. Can't say that enough.
Thanks.
Everything you guys are doing for the community. I think, Larry, you have an update from the Diversity Council. I know he was on. We can, final call for Larry. If not, we'll move it to our next meeting. All right, so we got a comment from Jonathan. Rick, you and Demi are the best of your staff. Again, congratulations. At this point, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Anyone
adjourn.
second?
Second.
All right, awesome. All in favor? Aye. Everyone have a great week. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.